The shorts seem to really be taking a hold of MULN stock at the moment. However, there is a bit of a case for a rebound coming. Hi again, everyone. Hope you're doing really well. As you can see, I've had to change my glasses today. The reason being, my daughter got a hold of my frames and bent them into a pretzel, basically. So I guess it's kind of a bit like owning MULN stock in the sense that you just can't own nice things in this day and age. Anyway, it was obviously another rough day for MULN Automotive on the market. So a big drop. It was a day where short selling could actually resume as per normal. The stock started up, but did end up finishing down around that 10% mark again, which still isn't great. It's been a lot of like decline through the week. I think it declined close to 40% through the week, so it's been pretty rough. Now, the stock has been depressed quite a bit at the moment, and a big reason for that's obviously the shorting action that's been going on. Now, since the stock is starting to get compressed a little bit, and the ratio of the float held short has actually picked up, but we're sitting around the 17-18% mark at the moment. This makes me think that, well, you know, we've kind of pressed down a bit, so we could be looking for a bit of a spring in the stock now. And what I mean by that is, obviously it could be some like buying pressure which might actually push out a few shorts. Now, that's one theory, and you know, obviously we kind of hold out hope that we might get some sort of corrective action just to like ease our minds a little bit about where this stock's going. But you know, obviously if you're a longer term in the stock, you're not too fussed about where the stock price is at the moment. You're more so looking at what's going on operationally with the business. Now, in terms of operations, there is something coming up next week which might be actually also feeding into the suppression of the stock price. So if you look back at their most recent capital raise, but they've already received $20 million. There's supposed to be, I think, a further $45 million coming to the business next week, I think June 12th, so on Monday. Now, obviously, part of that's going to be through the ownership of warrants and securities in the business. MULN's going to receive cash, so they're going to have cash in the bank, which is a good thing. They obviously need that to shore up their operations, but it does have a bit of a diluting effect on, you know, the underlying value of stocks. So I think that might also be weighing on the stock price a bit this week, and might be kind of why we have seen a strong sell-off when you consider that in the scheme of things. So it's, you know, it's a bit of a trade-off. Obviously, no one wants to see sort of dilution, but at the same time, it is a kind of a necessary evil for the stock or the company in terms of, like, you know, making sure that they can actually, you know, fund the production and that they want to have it starting, I think, in July later this year. So it's a necessary evil, unfortunately, and it hurts even more because obviously the stock price is quite suppressed. That doesn't bother me too much in the sense that, like, the strike price for the warrants and shares that are being sold to, I think it's mainly Quistis Capital or Custis Capital, I can't remember how to say it. You know, that's predetermined, and it's actually higher than what the current stock price is at the moment. So that's something. And you got to remember too that, like, selling the shares actually, at least in the short term, does improve the balance sheet of the company because it gives them more assets. Obviously, it dilutes the underlying value of existing assets, but because I guess the value of assets per share at the moment is reasonably low, when you have a higher amount of cash coming in for the shares that are being raised, it actually technically boosts the underlying value of the stock, at least in the short term. But we know that a lot of that money is going to be going out. Now, obviously, on the other side and the other story going on with MULN, other than heading towards production, is the stuff with Lawrence Hodge. Now, from what I've seen, there hasn't really been any other updates other than a couple of, like, things going around on YouTube and stuff like that. And it sort of seems like there might be a bit of a repairing of the issues around the LLC at the moment. And basically, if you're following some of the other channels, the Financial Journey was the one that I saw. And it's sort of made out that, you know, perhaps like the testing on those vehicles that, you know, MULN has been waiting for Lawrence Hodge to do may actually start later this week. So on Wednesday, so they can get that EPA certification, you know, and avoid any sort of legal issues and ensure that the technology is as good as we're being told it is. And that's obviously very necessary for this MAEO project to work out. Now, I think I'm hoping that's what's going to come. It's kind of just all speculation. A lot of stuff around MULN is speculation, in the sense that, you know, we'll kind of just take little bits and twist it and interpret it all different ways. But, you know, if you're a longer term believer in the stock, Unfortunately, you have to kind of accept the reality that we're going to be selling securities. The alternative is to raise debt. You know, so what's the better of two evils? You decide. And that's going to, you know, obviously hurt the share price. And, you know, shorts are going to be kind of jumping on this because they know it's like, oh, a good opportunity to, like, you know, basically buy in and, you know, sell high and buy low, basically what they're trying to do. And that's what they're going to get from all this. Anyway, just a little update just to close off the week. I might come up with something over the weekend just to, you know, something a bit more about what's going on with the business, like if I dig around and find anything useful. But yeah, otherwise, for this week, it's actually a long weekend in my country. So, although I don't know, I know you guys have a public holiday coming up in America soon, I think Juneteenth, the new one. Anyway, so it's public holiday for me, so I've got a long weekend, but I've got a lot of work to do anyway. Anyway, till next time, everyone, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and may the markets trade in your favor. Cheers.